Hey guys, welcome back to Games of War. Today's episode is going to be one of my favorite genres, one of my favorite handhelds. This will be like a top 3 visual novels on the PlayStation Vita. I've gotten your requests, I've heard your comments, and I've heard you guys say, hey man, it's okay to do shorter videos, bite-sized videos. They don't have to be 20, 30-minute videos. We just want more content more frequently. So this is my answer to you guys, a nice bite-sized episode for here to consume. And I'm going to say that I'm not going to go on forever. Like I've gotten complaints in my other videos when I do like a top 5 PSP RPG or a top 5 DS RPG, and I go on forever with honorable mentions and on and on and on, and it ends up being like a top 20. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm going to pump these videos out faster, and I'm also going to do longer videos too, but just more content. I just want to get more content out on the channel, more consistent, and what you guys deserve. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy. So near the top of visual novels, for my taste personally on the Vita, I absolutely fell in love with I'm so bad with the pronunciation, Udamuwaru, Mask of Deception and Mask of Truth, we'll just call them that. I absolutely loved the first game. I wasn't quite sure what to expect, if it was just a straight visual novel. Come to find out, it is mostly a visual novel, mostly reading, going through static screens, but there's a strategy RPG battle system in place. So think like Fire Emblem, Shining Force, where you go into battles and there's a grid and you can execute turns and moves, and it's pretty bare bones, a pretty basic battle system, but it really does help break up the visual novel and the reading, and it gives you something else to do, which is definitely a plus. The first game, The Mask of Deception, I absolutely fell in love with the storyline right away, and it's very tough to imagine that because you start off as an amnesiac person waking up in the mountains with a hospital gown on. You have no idea how you got there, no idea who you are, what's going on. And if you played video games in the past 10, 15, 20 years, I can't tell you how many games have started out with amnesia. You have no idea where you are, mysterious past, mysterious swordsman, blah, blah, blah. There's always an amnesiac hero that has no idea who they are. But what makes it so acceptable in this game for me personally was just the strong supporting cast, the cleverness, the writing. Probably one of the funniest visual novels I've ever played in my life. This game has just got so much humor. There was moments I actually laughed out loud multiple times. Your character soon meets a girl named Kuan, and she's kind of like a beast girl with like beast ears and like a tail. And it's pretty evident early on that she's considerably stronger than you are. She names you Haku and takes you into a town, and says, "Oh, let's stay here with me. I'll take you under my wing. Just do a little bit of work to earn your keep." And she gives him these chores, and he's like struggling to lift these like burlap sacks of grain and shit, and struggling to get this work done. And she comes in and she's like, what the fuck? I've left you here all day. You've got nothing done. And she like whips these bags up on her shoulders and tosses them. And your character's like, what the fuck? How is this girl this strong? And he mouths off to her a couple times, and she takes this tail of hers, man, and like whips it around his neck, and like he says, I can feel like life being squeezed out of my fucking soul. And it's just such a funny ass game, man. She's really like, takes no bullshit, and the interaction between the two characters is just so much fun. I love the supporting cast. The story does pick up steam and builds up, and it gets you quite interested in the world and other characters that are going on. And the Mask of Truth is a direct sequel, so definitely a cliffhanger ending, and left you wanting to continue on with the second one. If you're looking for a visual novel with some definite action to break up the gameplay of just reading, definitely check out this series. I absolutely love the humor, character development. The battle system was pretty cool. I'm a big fan of strategy RPGs, so I'm never going to complain about combining visual novel and strategy RPG gameplay. Definitely a fantastic series. I believe this is available on the PS4 as well. Definitely check these games out. They are definitely worth it. A ton of fun. A couple summers ago, Axis was advertising the summer of the mystery novel, the summer of the visual novel, and they released 3 games. And if you bought all 3, you could send in and get a collector's set of buttons from each of the games, and you get some trading cards. And I was really looking forward to these 3 games because I'm a big fan of the way Axis presents their visual novels in terms of storytelling and atmosphere. And I definitely found a favorite of the 3, the Psychedelic of the Black Butterfly. Amazing game in terms of atmosphere, kind of sense of loneliness, isolation, dread. It's a visual novel through and through, with the only action coming in at different points where you are going to be shooting. It's kind of like a static screen, and you're going to move the cursor around and shoot things as they come in. And it's definitely ties into the storyline in terms of these kaleidoscope shards you have to gather to kill these monsters and put this thing back together and get out of this mansion. As you wake up, you have, once again, no idea how you got there, who you are, why you're there, and you meet these other people that are in there as well. And you come into contact with these monsters in this mansion. It's definitely like a sense of dread and isolation, and the sense of loneliness, and these scary ass monsters that are chasing you around every corner. And as you meet these people and you form bonds with them, the romance definitely takes a back seat in Black Butterfly, which is something I was really dug, because I don't mind romance. I don't mind, like, finding a suitor, or different guys a date or different girls a date, and developing a stronger bond towards that. It's kind of like the visual novel status quo, but it definitely takes a back seat in Black Butterfly. The storyline takes front and center. It's very dark. It's very drab. It's very just all-consuming, and I actually like the shooting scenes. It really ties in well with the gameplay. It ties in well with the overall flow of the game. It's got the flow chart once again where you can kind of take different branching paths and go replay different things, and there's different bonus scenes that are a lot of fluff. There's a lot of fluff storyline, but the main storyline where you're going through, and as you learn more about these people that you're with, you have such stronger ties, and it goes such beyond this mansion and in different life. And I don't want to spoil too much because it's really hard to talk about visual novels without spoiling shit, but all three games were great, but Black Butterfly was by far my favorite. Seven Scarlet was a visual novel where you're going to look for your lost brother in this supernatural village. A pretty cool setup. I really did enjoy the Seven Scarlet, and the Psychedelica Ashen Hawk was a really cool visual novel that focuses on different clans, and these two clans have been in the same town, and they're kind of at each other's throats for years. And it's a girl that was born with a certain mark, and she's kind of disguised as a boy, and it's a really cool game. It's got some deep backstory with these two different warring factions in the towns. This is a pretty close second, the Ashen Hawk, but definitely Black Butterfly blew me away from start to finish. I did not put it down. A gripping story, just like reading a great novel, man, I couldn't get enough. It's a highly recommended visual novel on the Vita. Probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite visual novel on the Vita is Root Letter. This was a mystery game, not necessarily a full-blown visual novel, more along the lines of a visual novel mixed with like a Professor Layton, mixed with like a Phoenix Wright. Definitely a lot of exploration. He plays a character who's in his 30s, and you're switching careers, moving out of a house, and you discover an old stack of letters that you had with a pen pal 15 years previous while you were in high school, and you wrote back and forth with this girl, and you kind of felt some feelings bonding and some feelings growing, and you felt closer to her as you exchanged letters and learned more about her and her friends and how she lived life at school. And years passed, you didn't think much of it. As you find these letters, you notice there's a letter at the bottom that you'd never read before, and it wasn't stamped or anything, and you read it, and it says, this is my last letter. I won't be talking to you anymore. I've committed murder. I must atone for my sins. And it like freaks you out, and so much so that you put your life on hold, and you go to her hometown and kind of visit, and you just got to find out what the fuck was going on and what she was talking about, because you really felt a strong connection with this girl, and you wondered why the letters just stopped, and you had never read this letter, so you're on a mission to find out what the fuck, did this girl actually kill somebody? Like, who was she? What happened? And as you arrive in her hometown and you start tracking down these friends that she talked about in her letters, most of them are still there, if not all of them, and they don't want to talk about this girl. Her name is Aya Fumino. They don't want to talk about her. They don't want, as soon as you bring her up, you get the cold shoulder, and something's up right away. And what goes from there is just a developing mystery. Is like, what happened to this girl? What did she do? Like, something definitely happened at school, and something they don't want to talk about. And I'm not going to spoil it or anything else, but man, what a captivating, just truly enjoyable game. Very peaceful soundtrack. The visual style is very well done. Really good localization, strong writing. I really enjoyed Root Letter from start to finish. A great storyline, a great mystery. Definitely for fans that like a little more than just reading in visual novels, because there's a lot of stuff that, exploration and different things. Root Letter was also just recently re-released on the PS4 and the Switch, I believe, and it's kind of like a remake with different gameplay and graphical options. The original anime look is still in there. You can also choose like a FMV look, real actors. But I always loved the original on the Vita. I got the Pen Pal edition. It comes with really cool shit like that ties in with the game, and the letters and all the stationery that the girl used to write back and forth with you in the game. You get like in the collector's edition, which is really cool. Different envelopes and shit that were all in the game. So it really ties in, a nice art book. So I'm a huge fan of Root Letter. If you like mystery games, definitely don't miss this one. It's a fantastic game. Hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at some of my personal favorite visual novels on the Vita. There's definitely something for everyone, whether you're the more mainstream Danganronpa type gamer or the 999, the Zero Escape series. They're definitely all represented beautifully on the Vita. There's tons of straight up visual novels too. Games like Calyrex Malice, Chaos Child, Period Cube. You got Norn 9. I mean, tons of straight visual novels that are only on the Vita. So you've got definite choices to pick from. It's a fantastic genre and a fantastic handheld. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I love you. Games War is nothing without you.